I tried to write everything down. So let's see.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, Louie and Justin. Louie was here before I was.
There she is. Hey, Erin.
Yes. Yeah, good to see you guys. Man, should be a good show tonight, guys. We got several people coming in. So we'll wait a couple minutes, get some more people in here, and go ahead and get going with these guys. But we do thank you for coming on. Shawn, Erin in. Justin. Yeah.
I mean, I guess while we're rapping, we usually don't really like talk about ourselves. You know, we make it about the guest and whoever we have on. But as you can see, Eric's got a different background going on, so maybe you can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, guys. Some of the people from my church, man. For those of you who don't know, I teach Bible at a Christian rehab, like 1 day a week for about 3 hours, and so I've been doing that for a while. A few guys in our church that have came out of addiction, those guys work with other addiction ministry type things like Christian rehabs. So we're actually down here in South Carolina. We're going to an event at one. It actually starts tonight and tomorrow. I'm hanging with you guys tonight and doing the show. And then after that, I'm going to be meeting up with the fellas. And we're going to be doing some other things. And then all day tomorrow, and we'll drive back on Sunday. So, yeah, one of those things, man. Just
nice, man.
Extra to give back. And, you know, I know addiction's a thing that touches a lot of people. And Sam, you know, has obviously shared some about his in the past and kind of through that. So it's one of those things, just a way to reach out, do what you can.
Yeah, man. Support, you know, definitely having a support system, you know, feeling brave enough to be vulnerable about it and coming out on the other side and, you know, not looking back at all. You know, just don't look behind you. Just so if anybody who's in the chat, I know it's a little heavy starting on a Friday night. Anybody who's dealing with that kind of stuff, don't hesitate to reach out. You know, it's Eric or myself. Like, we're judgment-free zone. We're here to talk and listen if you guys ever need anything.
Yeah, like I said, if you need, I mean, if you're to the point of desperation as well, like, I mean, I know some people that can help you for sure.
Yep.
All over the country. Like one of the places that we're visiting tonight, they actually have 13 locations all over the place. So there is that for sure. We want to recognize some more people that have popped in the chat. Dan, thanks for coming in. Art Vandelay, Vandelay Industries, import export. Joe Deals, man, thanks for coming on, bro. Frank, glad to have you as well. Bill Tackett, thanks for coming on in. We are well. Hope you are as well. We got excited about tonight, man. We got some awesome guests that are going to be with us, and honestly, some people that you probably have never seen before on a live, making their debut. So, guys, if you saw in my Instagram post, I did share like who's going to be here with us. So, man, we are thankful to have these guys a part of our community, and obviously, they're bringing stuff to the table. They're going to be sharing some of their journey tonight, and we're excited to hear that. And just a reminder, the last Friday of every month, we do this. It's a new format we just started last month. We both enjoyed it. Got positive feedback from a lot of people within the community, and kind of gives everybody an opportunity to get to know people that you may not always see on a live show, like showing their face or talking about their journey or anything like that. So it's awesome to see guys come and be a part of that. So next month, if you want to be a part of this, please reach out to myself or Sam. We try to bring on at least 4 guests every month. It's the plan. And so if you want to be a part of that, feel free to reach out. You know, sounds like it's a good deal.
Love to have you guys join us. So that'd be fun.
Seeing if I missed anybody. All right, cool. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and bring in our first guest and just kind of want to share a little bit about this guy. As somebody most of you, man, you'll know when he pops in here. Larry is always around the community, and, man, it's interesting because usually he's running a live or a part of a live, but we're gonna dig in a little bit with him tonight and learn just, you know, what we can pick up from from him, because obviously he is a part of our community, and he's a big part. He's kind of like one of those guys that's like glue, right? You
Right.
got to have him because he's holds some things together. So we're going to go ahead and bring Larry in. I do thank some other guys for popping in the chat. Harry's got to have you, and Tink. So we got the Stache Man coming in.
A one and only.
Yeah. So,
How's everybody doing?
oh man, it's good, dude. We're so thankful to have you on the show, Larry. Man, it's kind of wild seeing you on the other side of the interview because I know usually.
I know, man. He's got his talk show.
Yeah, I mean he's got his own live going on now. I know him and Victoria are splitting the morning show.
Yep.
Yeah. I just started like maybe I don't know about a month ago, I think.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I'm glad to see that you're kind of stepped out doing your thing like that.
Yeah. So, it's exciting. I mean, I don't know how long it's gonna last because I mean, when work starts up, it'll be ending, and hopefully a friend of mine will take over and fill in for that spot. Until I'm able to come back and do it when schools go on their breaks and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is one of those things. Well, Larry's got some interesting stuff going on, and we were kind of talking about it behind the scenes before you guys came in. But Larry, so tell the people a little bit about what you sell and like where do you sell it? Because you just introduced me to a new platform that I didn't even know anything about. So,
I sell ephemera, documents and postcards, and I'm still selling it on eBay. But I'm dropping down because I found out from a friend of mine that I've been learning about postcards overseas that there's another site that's only with postcards, and that's hippostcards.com. That's all they sell is postcards on there. So I decided to go ahead and investigate. I think that was Monday. I decided to go ahead and jump in and see what happens because the postcards right now I don't have a lot. So, I mean, it's not, I'm not able to do the monthly payment, keep up. It's not paying for the eBay thing. So I'm dropping down to the free version again of eBay. And I went over to Hip Postcard, got a good deal, and hopefully it works out. And I just keep adding a postcard. I mean, I got a good price for a month. I can list a lot more per month. Yeah, it's called hippostcards.com.
Hip
And
postcards.
there is a bunch of postcards on it.
yeah, that's what I was like. And when he was talking about that, I was like, I've never even heard of that. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. So,
Is it spelled the way it sounds? Hippostcards.com?
Yeah, let me
HIP?
let me bring it up here. HIPPOSCARD.com.
yeah.
I wanted to make sure I was spelling it right.
Yeah, no problem. And we had a few more people drop in the chat. Nana, good to have you here. Bob and Bob. I assume you're using two different accounts because I was following that conversation. Jared, glad to have you in. Andy, thanks for coming by, buddy. And Annie, Dan, thanks you guys for being here. So Larry, like we were saying earlier, you haven't made any sales on that thing yet. You just
no, because I just pretty much started. See, this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. I think I started it up as either Tuesday or Wednesday. I decided to jump in, and I'm going back into them and making sure everything's okay. Because it didn't bring everything over, even though it's just a one button click, and it actually brings all your postcards over from eBay. And I even took a look. I think it's like I got 3 or 4 pages on there, and I went through all the pages, and I have some documents on eBay, and it did not touch those at all. All it did was bring the postcards over.
oh, wow.
I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So now I just gotta go through all the postcards that came over, just go through them all and make sure it didn't. You got to fix the shipping. You have to fix the shipping on there, and you just go back through and make sure your listings are. Because it doesn't bring everything over, so you just got to go back through them and make sure everything's the way you want it. So it's actually pretty easy. I haven't listed anything. I'm just going in there and fixing stuff. So I don't know how easy it is to list anything new that I put in there.
Yeah, I got you. So how do you normally ship postcards? Like when you're selling them on eBay, like do you just put them in an envelope, or do you?
Yes. I found out while I was doing in a padded mailer, and then found out from a friend of mine. Me and Victoria both do it.
Right.
And we're like, why should we use a padded mailer? I mean, we can, you just use a 55-cent stamp. Just go get a 5 thank you card, stick them in there. And, I mean, because we have free shipping on there. So it only costs us 55 cents to ship it.
So have you found some kind of crazy rare postcard before that's like super
rare? Not I found. See, got some old ones, back in World War II, maybe World War I area. It's ships, the battleships.
Yeah.
Other than that, those haven't been moving. See, rare postcards, I haven't really found anything too rare yet. Because I usually buy a bundle of postcards and I'll break them up and I'll sell singles, or I'll see what might match this and that. Right now, I only have one bundle on there. It's like I have 5 Mount Rushmore postcards in the same bundle, and they're all. I might break that up because the pictures are taken at different angles.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a bunch of different Mount Rushmore cards, and right now it's just the states that have been selling. And I have a feeling it's because people went on vacations way back when, and they remember being at that spot, and they didn't have a postcard, so they're finding mine, and they're buying them and mailing them off.
Dude, I have to send you some from the Outer Banks. One of my thrift stores has like super old postcards. And it's like Jockey's Ridge, Wright Memorial, lighthouses, that kind of stuff.
And some of the ones I do have a lot of them that are blank. I also have some that have writing on them, and some of the writing is kind of interesting if you can read it.
Yeah.
That sounds like my writing, kind of interesting if you can read it.
I mean, some of the stuff is like a doctor wrote on the back of this postcard. I'm like, okay, what is this?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
That gets pretty interesting. Other than that, I'm working on getting pretty active in YouTube now. So doing about two shows a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, live ones right now. Like right after the morning show, I'm doing the second half, and it's called part 2 of the morning show. It depends on when Victoria ends hers, when I start mine, and then in the evening, I'm usually about 5 o'clock now, since another person ended his, so I'm at 5 o'clock now. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, because Tuesday is our bingo night at 5, so I'm on there at 5 o'clock.
You're a busy man. Man, Larry. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I'm trying to get myself out there, so I'm trying to get noticed.
There you go.
So, all right, kind of like our next question is, so what are 3 things that you've learned while you're doing the reselling thing that might be helpful for someone else, or just some things you learned that you may not think is helpful for somebody else, but just like you telling us about this website that none of us knew about.
Yeah, pay attention to the shipping. The shipping will mess you up if you don't pay attention.
Yeah, I think all of us have had that trial and error at some point.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I've shipped a couple free items.
When before I took out everything, I have made the mistake of shipping an item. It wasn't supposed to go in a priority box, and I didn't catch it. And I shipped it out, and I got a comment from the customer. I paid all this shipping. Why do I have to pay more when the package is here?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what did I do?
Yeah.
And I know. I see Sam. I was like, oh yeah.
I mean, it's happened to me as a buyer where a package showed up and the mailman's like, "We need more money." I was like, "What? I paid. I paid already. I paid for shipping. What am I gonna do? Send it back? It's in front of my face."
Yeah.
So I paid it and then I complained as I should. But yeah, I'm sure it stinks.
They told me I had to pay this so much extra. I'm like, okay, I will reimburse you. No problem. I'll reimburse you for the money. Just let me know what I owe you, and I'll reimburse you. And I have I have sent the wrong item, and that was pretty messed up. It was close, but it was the wrong item. I wasn't paying attention to it, and they even showed me a picture. They said, "What is this?" I'm like, okay, I had to look at the picture where I was supposed to send them. I said, oops. So I'm like, don't worry about it. I will send you the right one free of charge. It's no problem. And you can keep the other one. It's no big deal.
So basically you're saying that you're learning things by trial and error like the rest of us.
Yes. And I mean, yes, pretty much I have done that. And plus I have learned some other things from other people. I mean, it's just trying to remember everything, which is the tough part for me, trying to remember everything that I've been learning in the past and putting everything together.
Yeah. Hey, just doing it though. That's kind of what reinforces it, right? Like,
and then putting in your information on. In fact, I forget on putting. Okay, I put this item in this box, and then I don't put it in that certain category in eBay. I guess there's a certain category that only we can see, and I forgot what it's called, something ID, and I forgot I don't put the information in there. When the item sells, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at it, I'm like, now where did I put it? I forgot to put the information on what box I put this item in.
Oh, like your inventory system?
Yeah.
Do you put it in the description?
No, not in the description. There's another field, a couple of spots down below the title.
Yeah, it's called custom SKU.
Oh, custom SKU.
Oh, yeah, you should. I did that with a postcard, and it took me like 15, 20 minutes to find it.
Dude, why do you use Victoria's cataloging system? Yeah.
Yes, I do, but I just forgot. I put the number on the little sleeve and in the binder because we got pockets, but I just forgot to put the information in that label field. And just for some reason, I don't know why, and that postcard sold, and then I had to go looking for it through 3 binders that I have, roughly 250 postcards in each binder. And I had to go looking for this postcard.
Yeah, I think, guys, in the chat, let me just get your feedback on this. So, have you ever made one of these mistakes? Because I can say I've made all 3 of those. And, occasionally I'll still make one. So maybe I'm alone in that, but I doubt it. I think a lot of sellers.
Every day, there's this when it comes to packing packages, there's this low-level anxiety. I mean, I've worked at restaurants where you mess up people's orders, okay, and they can send it back. You mess up somebody's, it takes 2 or 3 days to find out whether or not you messed up, and it sucks.
Right. Yes, it does.
Yeah,
and then you start having to getting yourself the confidence back of, did I mail the right item?
Yeah.
It takes me a little bit to get the confidence back. I'm like, did I mail the right item out to this person? I'm like, I hope I didn't mess up again.
Larry, I'll tell you, there's been times, I know at least there's more times in fingers and toes that I've ripped open a package just to make sure it's the right package. And I freak myself out. I'm like, no, this, I don't know. And just open the whole darn thing up, and it's like, well, now I got to pack it. I was right. Good job. Wow. Packing up all of it.
Yeah, I've done that.
I haven't been that bad yet. Holy cow.
Yeah, I had to rip the sticker off one.
Yeah.
I was like, that was wrong. They looked like the same box. In fact, just this week, 2 days ago, I had somebody that wanted to combine shipping. I saw it and I packed them separate.
Oh.
And I was like,
wow.
And when I put them together, I put the wrong box in with the other box. And I was like, learning. I'm still learning. I think we all are when it comes to that. But
Oh yeah, I mean,
So
you're gonna keep learning. I mean, if you don't keep learning these platforms, I mean, you're gonna learn something new every day. You might think you know everything, but I'm sorry, I don't think you're gonna ever know everything.
Nah. Well, it's and it's learning and also not repeating the same mistakes over and over again too.
Yeah, that's the hope, right? That's the hope. We all kind of go through that same stuff, but kind of bringing it back to what we're doing here this evening isn't it great to learn from somebody else's mistake instead of your own? Like, I mean, that's the way to go, right? It's if you figure out how to learn from others' mistakes.
Oh yeah,
it saves you money and time and all the rest of that stuff. So.
Oh yeah, I've had friends that I've learned. They even said, "Yeah, I'd rather that I made this mistake instead of you making it." So.
Yeah, I mean that's the adage, right? Like idiots make mistakes, smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from others' mistakes.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
So far, I haven't. I'm just glad I haven't mailed out the wrong postcard out yet. So I mean, I usually double check. I'm like, okay, this postcard sold. Where do I have this at? Okay, I'll go find it. I'll take it out of the sleeve. I'll come back to I'll come back to the computer and look at eBay, and I'll blow the picture up to make sure I got the right postcard. I mean, I take the postcard, I hold it up next to the picture. Do I have the right one?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I can imagine with having postcards too. Like, you say you're lotting most of them up there, right? Like, not just.
I only have one lot. I only have one group that's lotted. Everything else is single.
Yeah, so you're like flipping cards. Or you got them set in, like he was saying, inventory.
Oh yeah, they're in a. I mean, I had documents in this one, but they're in a system, something like this that they have a number on. They're in a. You probably can't see it.
That's smart, man. That's smart. That'd be a lot of cards to look through every day. 500 postcards to try to find the one.
Oh yeah, there's like. I got about I got 3 binders of postcards, and there's roughly 250 to 300 postcards in each binder.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And I still have about 400 to go right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. But hey, that's not a lot of storage space.
They're really thin. Yeah, in fact, I'm even thinking about maybe getting back into DVDs because I might start Macari. I have like 2 items listed on Macari right now. I have 1 DVD and 1 shirt on there right now.
Let me buy this man's shirt so he'll get the
DVD,
confidence to.
You're talking my language right now.
Let me buy something off his Macari store so he gets the confidence to sell more on there.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, so Larry, what do you have coming up? I mean, what's future plans? Like as far as reselling, like YouTube, all that.
Working on probably tinker with Macari, trying to get some more things on there, and just go through and taking a look at all the postcards I have and hit postcard right now, and adding more postcards to it. And with eBay, since I'm dropping that down to a free platform coming probably Monday evening, because I just sold a postcard on there yesterday. So I don't want to take everything out there yet. But come Monday late afternoon, I'll drop everything down to where I'm roughly about 50 listings on there. And then I'm probably going to open up another free eBay account for another free 50 listings using another Gmail account. And see where it takes me from there.
Well, check that email. Like if you get on managed payments, check that email you got yesterday. I will drop a video in the morning. I've actually already recorded it this afternoon after seeing that. But check that thing out because you may not have to open a second store unless you really want to.
I haven't received an email from them yet on that.
Yeah, it says about an update. Like if you're not already on managed payments, you may or may not have received it, but if you are, more than likely you have received it. And it's talking about that they are upping the amount of items you can list in every category, whether you have a store or whether you don't. And if you have managed payments, you even get more. So if you have
because I meant to the next level up there, I'm paying $25 a month, and I jumped from 250 to 350 listings on there.
There you go.
So, and since
Nice.
I'm dropping down, maybe it'll go up from the 50 free listings. Maybe that'll drop up. Maybe that'll jump up higher with the free listings.
Yeah, I mean, I would check it for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Larry, man, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched your show, last month, and I heard you guys say, reach out if you want to jump on. So I reached out to Sam, and
Glad you did, man.
I just waited for him to reach back out to me. I'm like, when he did, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. He says, you're on the calendar. I'm like, this is awesome.
No, we talked about it last month, and we really wanted to find a way. We only do this thing once a month. We're not like you daily show guys. And Lord, after doing this even once a month, I look at what you guys do, and I was like, man, it's incredible that you're able to pull that together every week. Because I know myself and Sam, we stay pretty busy. So a lot of times we're probably in one of your shows and just creeping because we are behind the scenes working, doing other things.
Yep. Yeah. If you are on, if you guys are on this weekend, I'm driving to Arizona. I have to help some family out and drive their car out to Arizona. I'll be listening in because I'll be bored out of my skull.
Oh, yeah. Just keep an eye out for me. I'm on right now 2 days. Monday, Tuesday, Monday through Friday, I'm on twice during the day, and Saturday I'm on twice. Usually Monday with a friend of mine at 9 o'clock, and then another friend of mine, Johnny, at 4, and then I'm on again Sunday about 9 a.m. with a friend of mine that, I don't host it, but he does. I'm a co-host on that one. I'm a co-host on the weekends. I don't want to be the host on weekends right now.
So basically, if you're looking for Larry, he's on YouTube.
That's right.
Yes, I'm on YouTube.
In our description, in this, if you're on the Roundtable right now and you're watching this video, down in the description, there's a link to Larry's channel. We'd appreciate it if you did. Go ahead and subscribe to him if you're not already. And like I always say, too, hit the notification bell, because just like tonight, we had to check some people's notification bell because I don't think they even knew this thing was going down. But
and I also do crazy things on there. I don't know if you, especially on Victoria's show, I do some crazy stuff once in a while. You wouldn't believe the recent thing I just did. Yeah, I'll let you go back and watch it. It was like about 2-3 days ago. I think it's about 2 days ago. You have to go back and watch it, what I did. So.
Yeah. I dropped your link in the chat. So if you guys do not know the busiest Stache on YouTube, check him out.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks, man.
Everybody have a fantastic evening, and we will catch you on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah,
all right, man. Appreciate you,
buddy. We appreciate you.
Okay, love to everybody.
All right.
All right, man.
We're so happy to have Sam. I'll let you go ahead and introduce our next guest.
Well, you've definitely seen her around in the chats as well, and this is the first time I get to chat with her face to face. And this is Erin, RebelJunque.
Pull her in.
There we go. I was like, I could speak for Erin, but I could just let her speak for herself. Hi, Erin. Welcome.
Erin, we're glad to have you. So appreciative that you decided to come on, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me for sure.
Is that LuLaRoe hanging behind you?
It is.
Oh, what an eye, dude. Wow.
I used to sell LuLaRoe. That's kind of some leftover inventory, but mostly. Okay. Well, those aren't listed yet, so they're going up.
Yeah, my daughter used to sell LuLaRoe, and then it ended up in our closet for a while. That's how I got into reselling. So I'm kind of fond of LuLaRoe. It actually got me into this. So started me down the rabbit hole.
Yes, it was a rabbit hole.
So here we are.
For sure.
So Erin, if you don't mind, would you tell us a little bit about what you sell and where you sell and how you got into this thing?
So I sell a little bit of everything. So my LuLaRoe, there's my Vera Bradleys and stuffed animals. But I picked up things along the way and categories along the way that I didn't necessarily start out with, just kind of learning as I go here. But a lot of housewares, trinkets, dishes, not so much toys, but definitely the stuffed animals I enjoy. Got some jewelry, clothes, a little bit of everything.
Nice.
So I know for most of us, clothes is one of those things that we're like, stay away. But
yeah,
I think it's more guys that are try to stay away from this.
It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite thing to have to photograph and list, but it's so easy to pack and ship and send.
Yeah.
Your return on investment when you can get them for 99 cents at garage sales is, very enticing. So
yeah.
It's huge. I've been trying to sell my stuff that's like that. I actually drove some to a guy in that sporting goods buy. I got a ton of t-shirts.
Yeah.
But they're from a rival high school from where I live. So they obviously ain't selling there. And online, I don't think anybody even knows who these schools are. So I'm like, well, I met a guy this past week and I was like, look, if you'll take all these, I'll give you a heck of a deal because I want to get them out of my house. Not more than my wife, but I want to get them out. But I'm down to 3 totes of clothing that none of which is listed. It's just hanging out.
Oh, no.
Space.
Dude, it's like good stuff too.
Yeah, I know. Vintage, man. Stuff that I'm like, I do have the jeans listed. I would say that. Like the old Jordache, they're listed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks to Brittany, who's in the chat, my daughter. She's the one that did it.
Nice.
So, other than that, yeah, we're kind of not hitting on much for that. So how long have you been reselling?
Not very for real reselling. If you look at my eBay account, it goes back to 2003, and I started out because my son wanted some Game Boy, and I couldn't find it anywhere, so we went out to eBay and got it. And then I sold, scrapbook and supplies or this or that. Just stuff that we had at the house. Every once in a while, I'd post something up there. But for real, since February.
I got you.
Yeah, a lot of folks started around there.
Yeah.
Like, what was the thing that made you say, like, all right, this is for real?
Well, YouTube recommended some videos.
Okay.
So YouTube recommended, and I can't remember if I started out with Harry Tornado or Hustle at Home Mom. But that's the 2 I started out watching, and once you click on that and watch it, then they give you more.
Of course. Yes.
So the rabbit hole you're talking about, that's the one I fell down. I fell down the YouTube rabbit hole. But the more I watched, I thought, I have those things here. I could, we're not using those. Let me go get a few and list them. I put 10 things up, and that first time you get that little chi-ching on your phone.
Yeah.
And you think, for real? Somebody just bought it?
Got him.
But then, you listen to more things.
That's all it takes.
My mom and I, we have always been thrifters and garage sailors. And the thought of being able to go out and get a good bargain has always, just been something we did. But being able to get a good bargain and turn it into more money is awesome.
It's like being paid to shop.
Yes, exactly. So
find it, the treasure hunt.
There.
Yeah. Right.
The treasure hunt side of it's awesome too. Like if you find stuff that you're like, wow, you're shocked.
For sure. Yeah, I've had some real good surprises, things that you find along the way.
Yeah.
There's no way it's worth that much. But
so tell us about it. I mean, I guess like in the short time you've been a real reseller, what are some things that you've learned?
I have learned that I do not like to ship large items.
That's important.
I'm gonna stick with the smalls for sure.
Yeah.
But I made myself some notes. Hang on. That's number 1 for sure. I know that I do not like the process of having to pick out the packing supplies, pick out the box, and then lug that big box to the post office. I wish I wish I knew about it sooner. That's one thing that I've learned. And list fast. When you get that stuff, get it home, even if you just get it photographed right away,
Uh,
I think that's sometimes the biggest challenge, and that's the biggest, section of time that I have to spend, that prep and photograph time.
Yeah.
But doing that quickly and getting it done is a huge challenge, but also best practices
Yeah.
for sure.
no doubt. Yeah. Trying to set yourself up, because I know, like a lot of us, I buy a lot of electronics, so there's more involved than just
Right.
doing that. Like, you got to go back. But I watch, I know me and Sam both watch this guy, but Daily Refinement, I don't know if you guys even know who that is, but
Yeah.
Curtis, man, he has all these practices that he does. I was listening to one of his recently, I think yesterday, he was talking about, he said, man, buy things that you can list in 12 minutes or less.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I said, man, that's kind of crazy. Like, I would have never thought about that. But he's talking about, like, from start to finish. He's like, I'm talking from the time that you begin to list it and whatever process that looks like. Like, if you got to clean it, if you got to test it, if you got to whatever, 12 minutes all in. I was like, man, but he's talking about how to scale business. And I was like, I can see that being a thing, because how many times I know I buy stacks of electronics and I was like, dude, this is 30 minutes that I got to take care of this. And at some point, unless it's a serious profit, then, you're taking getting paid by the hour, dropping down to, going down the tubes.
Yeah.
Or worse, stack it up like my electronics room that is stacked to the hilt. Then I'm like, I'm going to have to pay somebody to come in here and help clear
Yeah,
that
having that
out.
parameter, that's a good idea. I mean, whatever
Yeah,
you can
if you
use to
haven't watched
motivate
it,
yourself.
man, he has like all kinds of tidbits like that. It's just like, he's been doing it for like 3 years, and now it's all systems for him. He's a numbers guy. He's crunching it like, hey, I got to do this to work this many hours, to list this many items, to sell this much, to make what I want to make. Like, that's kind of what he's doing. I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting to work backwards on those numbers and figure out what you actually have to do, how many items you got to pick up, how much time you got to spend on each item, that kind of stuff. I know a lot of us aren't in that deep yet, but good practices moving forward.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
sure.
good to think. It's good to think about, as far as how much you want to sell your average price items for. How many sales a day you want to aim for at that price to even make a living. Versus, I just want to do this, and and you're just, I don't know. There's no math behind it. There's really no strategy behind it, and it's that whole failing to plan, planning to fail thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's one of those things. So that's that's some things that I try to encourage myself on. I was taking notes on this guy's stuff and being like, man, I need to crunch these numbers for myself, because you never, for us, it's great to have it as extra income or whatever, but to scale, for me, since COVID hit, I've kind of shifted more into full-time than part-time.
Okay.
Depending on his income. I don't know if that's your situation as well, or if you've got something else going on outside of it.
My income is kind of our extra income.
Yeah. So that's one of the things, and to just working smarter, basically it's just working smarter. It's what it is, those processes in place. But yeah, sidebar.
No, that's good. Find your motivation. Absolutely. If those numbers and that limitation is what motivates you to get it done, that's what's going to get it listed,
Yeah.
So if that's what you need to know to get it done, crunch the numbers. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
it's one of those things. That's one of the things that I always think about. So, things that you've learned that help people along the way. So, do you have any tidbits for anybody that's in here that you can think of?
Yeah, no, just, I made a stupid mistake the other day. We can all learn from this. So
Yeah.
I listed Vera Bradley purse, but I looked up the style and listed it incorrectly. And so when the gal received it, she's like, no, this isn't what I bought. This isn't what was listed. I thought, oh, shoot. And sure enough, I have a smaller bag than what she was expecting to get. So I offered her, you can get a return, or you can, I'll give you 50% back. And she wanted a return. So I'm watching my mailbox for that. So yeah, just those little details. Keep an eye on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, Jeremy shared a little thing along the lines of what we were talking about is systems
Yeah.
make it successful. You aim for nothing, you always hit the target. That's true. Like both of those statements are very true. But yeah, I know those guys are out of town. He said he missed us all this week. It's good to have people popping in the community, and obviously all you guys in the chat as well. If you have any questions for Erin as well, while we have her here, feel free to ask. Put them in capitals. We'll pick them up. If not, Sam will get you.
That's right.
On top of that.
Like a hawk.
I'm always because Sam is a multitasker where I'm like, I'm here and I'm like trying to look at the chat. I'm like, okay.
This is a product of not paying attention in college when you give somebody a laptop.
Looks like you brought a guest.
This is my manager.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, you too? Mine's like over here meowing. If you can.
Yeah, I heard somebody's meowing. Brittany said.
He's sitting over. He's sitting over back here. He's trying to get my attention.
There you go.
Yeah, Brittany hears him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Brittany knows about the sitting in college with the laptop.
I mean, I like to challenge the idea that you can't multitask. You know, I'm pretty good at like talking to somebody else and pretending to be paying attention and like raising the occasional hand and then like sinking back.
Right.
I'm definitely one task at a time.
Yeah. Again, important to know how you work and you function, what your flow's like. So.
Well, so speaking of flow, I have just kind of a short idea of how I process all of my things. So when they come in, they get sat in a pile that needs, to be taken care of. But that pile, as soon as I go to photograph them, I take with me some cleaning supplies, clean it, photograph it, measure it, and then put it away where it's going to go. Later, when I have time, or if I'm, sitting somewhere waiting on the kids, if I'm waiting at the doctor's, if I'm just, my husband's watching a TV show I'm not interested in, I've got those pictures on there and then I can list. So whenever I've got downtime that I can sit still and be in one spot, then I'll list them. But I always have photographs on my phone ready to go.
Yeah, that's smart.
That helps me for sure.
Yeah, that's a good tip. I mean, like I hear people that talk about doing that. I always talk about doing that, but I never do it.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, I've got to start taking videos or pictures of my stuff ahead of time. Like I'm out of town right now.
Yeah.
So I was just telling the guys that were with me, I said, guys, I might have to make a quick thrift run here just to get some of the list on the way home. Depending on what it is, obviously. But I have Brittany at my house right now, so I'm going to try to talk her into listing a couple items for me.
Brittany's Dad, all of a sudden all of a sudden the internet cut out, Dad. I don't know what you said. I don't know.
What was that? Nah, she helps me out, man. She's a good kid most of the time.
I have a couple of those.
Yeah. Nah, she's just in here talking about she wished she was back in college. Adulting's hard. I was like, yeah, I get that for sure. So, Erin, what do you have coming up, like as far as plans for reselling, like where you're going YouTube wise? Like, you got anything?
Well, I have a couple videos up. They're a little awkward. If you want to go watch
Everybody's first ones are.
But I did enjoy making them, and I did enjoy editing them after I kind of got a little bit more use out of the software. It took some getting used to. Yeah. But I did enjoy that process in general. So there'll definitely be more videos. If I can get my store up to 1,000, which right now I'm kind of inching up to 400. I think 1,000 is probably going to be where I max out. 1,000 listings.
I got you.
But yeah, those are my goals. I think that'll give me, enough things, enough time to source, enough time to list things, shipping out, and still room to bring in more inventory. So the sourcing's my favorite for sure.
Oh yeah,
me too.
Yeah. I think that's like all of our. I could do that all the time.
Yep.
And I see you're putting out videos. I'm dropping links to your channel now. So I know you got several videos on there actually. So if you guys aren't subscribed already, go ahead and give her a hello, a thumbs up, and a comment.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. I do have one question about your YouTube.
Okay.
The taco nachos.
Oh yes.
Okay, I need 100 subscribers so I can change that. Quick, everybody.
Hey, if you're in the chat, we have 42 in here right now. So 41 of you guys need to jump on board. And go ahead and get her.
Okay, so after you get to 100 subscribers, I can change that. I think that we set up this channel when the kids were younger. And I'm pretty sure that was their name. But when I just, typed in YouTube and logged on, it must have been saved. That account was saved. And so I started watching from there. And then I thought, I'll change the name. I didn't realize the extension on the URL was still going to be there. So,
hey, you could just bring in a plate of nachos and set it out on your thing.
It used to be a cooking
Put
channel.
it in all your videos, just the nachos.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I started out as taco nachos, even commenting and watching some of you guys' videos. And then RebelJunk is a name that my mom and I had. We also make crafts out of recycled items.
Awesome.
So we have that on Etsy. I guess I should have told you that. So I have an eBay store, but I also sell on Mercari, Poshmark, Etsy, and Kitizen. I just had my first Kitizen sale. So
Congrats, nice.
Yeah.
I put everything that was on eBay, and I use List Perfectly to move everything over to the different platforms because I can't list everything I have on every platform.
Yeah.
Etsy's got to be vintage, and our handmade things go on there. So that's where that pulled over from. So yeah, we're not gonna be the taco nachos for long.
I got you.
Hit the thumbs up for the taco nachos, though. Seriously.
Yeah, taco nachos.
I'm actually craving some nachos right now.
I know, man. Goodness. Well, we appreciate you, Erin.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, guys. Like Sam said, man, if you're not subscribed, make sure you go ahead and take care of that right now. He's got the link in the channel, and it's also in the description. So we do thank you for coming on and being a part of our show.
Yeah.
And look forward to seeing where you head in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Erin. And let her know in the comments, first video, if you prefer to keep the name Taco Nachos or not. She's like, I'm changing it.
Hey, so our next guest coming on is a guy who is making his YouTube debut. This is Shawn. I know you've probably seen him in the chat. He did change his name a couple of times, and now it is definitely under Bargain Resell. So we're going to bring Shawn on, and we're going to talk to him a little bit about his reselling journey and let you introduce to him face to face. So here we are, Shawn.
Hey guys, how's it going?
I'm here still. You guys do your thing.
Yeah.
Okay, you're good.
Hey Eric, hey Sam, hey everybody.
Hey Shawn, how are you, man?
Just fine. That's fine.
Man, Shawn, so tell us a little bit about the journey and what you're selling, where you sell it, how you got involved with the reselling thing, and just
well, man, started back in like November, right before Thanksgiving, I think. We started looking around and trying to find some other avenues to make some extra money. I work full time, and my wife, she's not able to work, but so we started looking at eBay, and I started watching videos like Commonwealth Picker and 690 Picker, Lonnie and Garage Split, Shiflet, and I just got the idea to start selling. Then I started watching everyone else, and picking up, learning different things that are going on, and I just got interested in it. And really, we put a couple things on eBay and started selling a few things, and then I sort of, my wife thought I was sort of getting too much going into it, doing too much at one time and learning, but doing really good. Really enjoy it, and we're just doing eBay right now, and then eventually I'm going to do like a YouTube channel and stuff. But I sell anything. If I can make a little bit of money, I don't care. If I don't like it, somebody else likes. I'll check it out and I'll look it up and see if it's selling. And we went to a state sale today. I took them on a long lunch break and we found some good stuff. So, I'm a little nervous. It's my first time, but hey.
You're right, bro. We all started at the beginning. My
That's
first
right.
live, unfortunately, I was by myself, so it was very awkward. But
Yeah, I'm very awkward.
We get to it, man. But well, Shawn, I know we've seen you in the chats, and I met you in. I honestly don't remember whose chat it was, but we started talking about North Carolina, and you told me you are a fellow Tar Heel. So we were talking about that. Obviously, you have family that live out near where I'm at, so it is.
Yeah, we had. I think we met on a Facebook, one of the Facebook pages, and we were talking about something. And
yeah,
you said you live in North Carolina. I said I live in North Carolina. So we've hit it off ever since then. And I think it's right as you were starting your channel and stuff. So then I was one of the first subs, but you've been very helpful to me, man. And I try to be there for you. And I also like to support all the other resellers and YouTubers and stuff. That they benefit me, so I try to benefit them. I like to purchase from them if there's something I need. I always go there first. So, inspired to do, man, really do.
Yeah, I know. Shawn has actually purchased from me. I saw that come in early on, and obviously thankful for that. And a lot of you guys in the chat, I know you see Shawn around in chats, and he's looking to take the leap into YouTube. Yeah. He's not there yet. He's still trying to learn and working on some videos. So, I know a lot of us, like I always say, I said, we all start out at the bottom, and you go back. I left my first video up just to remind me where I came from. And it's terrible, like as far as quality, camera, lighting, the whole bit. But I was like, it's one of those things, we all start from somewhere. So, what are some things you've learned about reselling that's kind of helped you in your journey?
Well, I realized I'm not as organized as I thought I was. When I started buying stuff, I wanted to keep buying without listing it. And we ran out of room real fast. We recently bought a new house right as in January, and we got a shed. That shed's full. I got a smaller building that's full. We rented a storage building, 2 storage buildings. They're basically full. So I got a large desk pile. But my job, I work full time with the government, so don't really have a lot of time to list. But in the fall and the fourth quarter, we don't work as much as we do the rest of the year. So I'll have a lot of time. I've got a lot of stuff. Maybe it'll help me in the Q4 everybody's talking about. So very excited. I really enjoy it. And another thing I've learned is that I've actually learned to listen better. I sit there and watch other people. My wife is laughing at me. That's my wife's chat.
Busting at the seams. I figured that was your wife. That sounds like something my wife would say.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah.
So glad my wife isn't listening in right now.
Yeah, her name is Shawn.
We got the
Her name is Shawn. So yeah, Shawn and Shawn. But at first she wasn't really into the whole eBay thing. But we really enjoy doing the going out together and going to estate sales and yard sales together. And we've been married for 21 years, and we got 2 daughters, one 36 and one 33. She'll kill me. 33 and 16. And this is something we really like to do together. And if we don't make anything, I'm happy that we're able to do it together.
That's nice.
Another thing I also learned is that all these guys here, like you, Eric, and you, Sam, you're like family, man. I mean, you guys are there, and I want to be there for other people, just like you guys are. And it's like this whole community, guys. If anybody in the chat, you're learning stuff and you want to learn stuff, just sit down and just watch a couple of these guys and just absorb it, man. I just totally love to do it. I'm sitting at work doing my work, and I'm sitting there listening to YouTube and watching YouTube. I watch Sam about half the afternoon. Don't tell anyone. But yeah, yesterday, but you know, I just like to listen to everyone's experiences, you know, and maybe eventually my YouTubes I'll be able to show my experiences. I want to do something a little different than everyone else is doing. So it should be coming out soon. I've got a couple videos, but I haven't been able to edit them out. My daughter, she's over there laughing at me now, but she's my big editor. So
Yeah.
You called me 33.
yeah, I call what?
You called me 36.
No, not you. Not that was Sarah. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, that's my that's my ambition, man. I really enjoy this, and I want to take it on, man. I think I the eBay part. I know you don't make a lot of money on YouTube, but I feel like it's a good pathway to meet other people and to witness them and listen to them, and they'll listen to you, and you're helpful to them, and they're helpful to you. So, I got this southern drawl. You probably don't understand half what I'm saying, but.
Dude, I don't even hear it, man.
Nah, we've had Colton on. Sam lived in Alabama for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like you're talking like you're from the bayou. You're fine.
Hey,
But yeah, man.
got no water boy going on there. But, no, we definitely that I think me and Sam both can attest to the same thing what you're saying. Like we've seen people on YouTube that provided us value, in the reselling thing, and then in turn we're like, man, that's one of the reasons we started this show. Was like when we were talking about getting together, collabing with Jacob back in the day, and kind of getting this thing together. We were talking about we want to be a show that brings value to the community. We want to be someone that people can learn from, grow with. Not saying we have all the answers, because we don't. We're still learning like everybody else. And we're watching other guys and picking up things. And what I have learned is no matter how big or small your channel is, how many subscribers you have, there's guys that I'll jump on that really haven't even been doing YouTube that long, or they may have been doing it for a little while and not have the sub count that other people do. And I'll sit there and learn stuff about either items that I've never looked over, or it may be something, the process that they're doing that's a little better than what I'm doing. So, I mean, I think everybody can bring something to the table. I think everybody can has something to offer. You may not see it in yourself, but other people will see it. I personally, when I watched some of my videos, I was like, dude, you're kind of an idiot. Like you're saying my last video, I'll just tell you, for those of you that made it past the 7-minute mark that my thing is saying that people watched it, when you get down to the end of it, there's some bloopers in that thing that I was like, dude, I thought I cut that out. But it's me just saying stuff, and I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, why did you not do that? Take care of it. But it's real life, right? It's like what's going on. So that's the thing that I'm always like encouraging people. I mean, when you're doing this with YouTube, whatever your motivation is to do it, you can bring value to the table, and value always comes through. Like people always, whether it's entertainment or whether it's just information, like people value your journey when it comes to this whole thing.
Yep.
So, I'll get down off my soapbox now.
I can interview you.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So, I mean, I know there's things along the way that you learn that can help other people, and when you share that, that's always something that people come back for. And like you said about the whole family thing, I feel the same way. I wouldn't have met, like, there's a ton of people in this chat right now that I've had opportunity to spend some time with, whether even if it's just in chat or on YouTube or in interviews. And, like when I did that listing challenge, I bet I had about 15, 20 different people pop in my chat, talk with me. Sam was on yesterday doing that thing. He had people pop in. So it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Cat, I'm in a motel in South Carolina.
Typing it out, but there you go. He's in a motel in South Carolina.
Yeah. So, Shawn, where do you see this thing going? Like future plans?
Well, I want to continue doing eBay. I mean, I plan on working about 6 more years at least in my regular job, and then getting my retirement, retirement. But me and my wife want to still do this, and then when I retire, I want to do eBay full time, and who knows? We'll see how the YouTube goes. You never know. I want to go in and eventually start buying, like, look at maybe doing like some bulk buys and whatever. You talked about that, Eric, at one time, so I may do that. In the not too distant future. We'll look and see how that goes. But yeah, man, I'm just going to take it day by day and see how it goes, and take it with stride, man. There's a lot of stressors in this business, and you just can't let it bother you. I switched to managed payments a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, and my sales just totally flopped. I mean,
yeah, I heard you said that yesterday.
Yeah, but it's all good, man. It's back up, and
good.
My wife, she started listing some stuff today, and I've already had watchers on those things. So man, it's just but I plan on just building on the product, and I try to keep keep all my customers happy, man. That's what I want to do, and I know that's what eBay likes to hear. So
that's it.
Like YouTube, man. I just we'll see where it goes, man.
That's it, man. Well, I'm excited to see your first video, and if all else fails, we'll just blame your daughter.
Well, I didn't blame her also, but,
no skid off your back, Shawn. Don't worry about it, man. What's her social media? We can just give her all the bad comments, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be good, bro. I mean, I know you got some stuff to bring to the table.
Yeah, man.
Like I mean, I've seen some of the buy stuff that you've had. Like, I mean, as far as like what you talked about with me, I was like, yeah, it's definitely some valuable stuff.
Yeah, because I also think that, like, I think we take for granted what we know, especially we see bigger channels with bigger numbers, and sometimes like it's like, oh man, like the month ago, like Kevin Commonwealth-Picker talked about like vintage lawn chairs, and everybody was like about it, like how to ship a vintage lawn chair. They were so excited about it. I was like, well, that does make sense, but like, yeah, it blew everybody's mind.
Yeah.
So
you never know, man. You never know when you're out there scanning. Actually, Ken, my buddy Ken, Island Homesteader, he's actually on this trip with me, but we were at a state sale the other day together, and he found a screwdriver that sells for $85. A screwdriver. I was like, man, it's called Screwball. It's a Craftsman Screwball. It's the battery operated screwdriver in a box, $85.
Get out of here, dude.
I was like, a screwdriver, man. Like what?
Ken with them fines.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, there's stuff that's you never know.
You never know what to find, man. We started buying stuff on this online auction. It's called CT Bids. Have you ever heard of it? It's probably one in your area. And they do that. What they do is it's called clearing transitions. They auction off stuff for people who are moving out of their homes and having to move in the transition to smaller communities or smaller areas or smaller homes, rest home facilities or whatever. And this lady back in May, we bought a lot of stuff from her, and she told us that she had a couple that had to be out of their house by a certain day. They couldn't do the auction in time. So she just approached us about buying the whole, whatever was in the contents of the house other than the furniture. So we're still getting stuff from that place. We emptied it out. We found a bunch of a pack of tarot cards. I mean, I don't play tarot cards, but they were brand new in the box. I was like, who knows what that'd be? And it sold for $100.
Yeah, they go quick.
For half of what the money I put in there.
Yeah, it's like Ouija boards too,
Yeah. You just never know. You never know what you come across.
Sure.
But
yeah, you never know. I mean, anything can scan, and you scan it and be shocked. And then other things you look at that you think, oh man, that's got to be worth something. nothing. Like that's why we hunt, right? That's why we. The more informed you are, the better it is.
Oh yeah, my wife was just. I was trying to remember that day she found some pins. What was the name brand? I forgot. But yeah, we paid like $5 for them, and they're selling for $99 a piece. So we'll see what they sell for.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey.
You never know what you get unless you go and look for it.
That's right.
There's a video for you right there, buddy. There's your video right there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Dug out some pans.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, we'll do a what sold, man. Maybe I can do that.
There you go. There you go. Well, man, Shawn, we appreciate you coming on, man.
I appreciate you having me.
Taking the chance. I know you were kind of nervous about it to begin with, and you know, man, it's fine. Taking that first step. The same is true with YouTube, dude. It's just hitting record, right? Like once you hit record, start getting there in. And, you know, I think it's one of those things, too. Once you put that first thing out, then it snowballs.
And the editing thing is what I'm worried about. Hey, once I'm able to do lives, I'll do lives.
Editing's overrated. No, I'm just kidding.
you got this, man. It's all right. It's not going to be perfect.
Appreciate you guys. Everybody, we'll see you later.
All right, man, Shawn, thanks for coming on.
Take care, brother.
All right.
So, guys, if you're not subscribed to Shawn, his link is in the chat and also in the description of this video. Man, we do appreciate him for coming on.
We're dropping in there one more time.
Yeah, his wife. If you guys didn't notice, on his desktop there, the table beside him, he had that bear.
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask. Yeah,
Colton, man. So that was the creepy haunted bear that Colton was talking about. So yeah. That's one of the things. So, guys, our next guest, man, she actually dropped in with me on my listing challenge. And honestly, at a time where I was kind of starting to sink a little bit, she came in and provided a little entertainment. I told her she didn't have to bring the mask, but she's come out here anyway. And maybe you guys have already seen her. I know you'll know who she is. So, LadyLuckJunk, we have Danica in the house. So, no sound. I got you muted, or you got your stuff muted?
Myself muted.
Oh, there you go.
There she is.
No mask.
I thought we were going to do some mime action or something.
We can try.
But, yeah, Danica, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I was honored. What are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I appreciate you so much dropping in on my live that day. I was doing the grueling listing challenge, and
it was inspiring, that challenge you did. I think I might have to do that.
I'm probably gonna have to do another one of those pretty soon if my next estate sale goes like I think it is. It's gonna be I've already got a preview of what's there, and it's a lot.
Nice.
Can I ask you a question that you didn't get from Eric? Did you steal that dummy from Harry Humstone that's behind you?
I don't know where he came from, actually.
I think I saw him move a little bit, like you waved.
No, but he came from the bins, and my husband was like, I want him. So he's been hanging around. He was up on the shelf, and then I saw Harry's, and I was like,
I had one of his perfect. My wife said it had to go. She's like, "You got to get that thing out of here."
Oh my goodness!
It doesn't give me the creeps, except for I came in today and the overhead lights are fluorescent and they were out, and he was sitting there and the spot was on him, and it was just kind of like, whoa.
Man, yeah, you definitely make me jump. Anyways,
yeah.
I love Harry. I enjoy popping in when he's doing his 2 and 2s.
I know. I was telling him yesterday I haven't been able to catch one of his lives. He's been going live a lot lately.
Yeah, I think he finally hit his hours.
Yes, and he said he was waiting for the go ahead from YouTube. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man.
So how about you though? Forget about Harry. Sorry, Harry. How about you? Tell us about you, Danica.
Well, I sell on the internet, junk on the internet. I find old things cool. I always have since I was little, and I started listing a few things on eBay like 2 years ago. And I heard you mention Chris earlier. That was actually the first video I had ever watched. Was 10K on the Bay, and I was like, "There's something here." Like, and I wasn't happy in my career anymore. Not the career itself, but just circumstances. And
sure.
I was my husband is the main breadwinner for our family. So it's hard for me to like give advice because my circumstances aren't like everyone's. I feel like I was able to go all in and just, I started with I won $400 in a casino, and that's why I'm Lady Luck Junk, because it's like, you know, the art of chance, and you know, you never know what you're gonna find. And I went to the Goodwill outlet and filled my car and soon my garage, and it just
all from that $400 from the, because that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I just keep throwing all my time and money at it. I'm just putting it all back in. I think September will be just 2 years, I think. And I love it. I mean, I was lonely for a long time listening to YouTube. And then I guess the pandemic, everybody came to it. And I was like, oh, there's people out there that like want to talk about it. And, you know, I have met a lot of friends locally from YouTube that, you know, they'll be like, hey, do you know anybody that has this? Or just the connections have been really awesome. Like, yes, there's drama, but you just got to, you know.
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
No.
Just keep moving. That's the
You know, at first, a couple of things hit me, and I was just like, ooh, I don't know if I'm strong enough for this. Like, I've got a tender heart. And I was like, you know what? You spent 44 years waiting to lose weight, waiting to get your teeth fixed, waiting to not talk like a hillbilly. It's not going to change.
Although the busted teeth and the hillbilly thing could be that could be your shtick. If you want to wear like, sorry, go ahead. You were saying.
Yeah, I don't know what I was saying. I'm on eBay, Macari, Poshmark. I have some things on Amazon. That's a, you know, that's one of those things where you like watch some videos and you're like, I can do it, and then pretty soon you're like surrounded by barbecue sauce. You know, they're like, you can't sell this, and I just prefer the older stuff, antiques, collectibles. Like if I had it as a kid or my brother had it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's He-Man, or you know, just the treasure hunt and getting out and finding all that, and then getting it to new homes is what I love to do.
I see I see you like bring your husband along too. So the video
husband. Yeah, he I'm sure a lot of people's spouses don't get it. Like I know I'm not alone because I've talked to people, and I don't know if you were going to ask me a question on that, but he's been really supportive from afar.
No, I mean, and I guess the supportive thing, however it is, their way is the important thing, because you hate to have like resistance to it too.
Yeah, there's not really resistance. It's more just support, honestly. I mean, awesome. He helped me rent a building to get it out of our house. So maybe that was a little bit, you know, selfish thing for him to, but it's not, because he's actually said, I'm going to pay half the rent and all the utilities for a year. So he's really been supportive. There's no doubt about that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Can your husband give my wife a pep talk? Does that work? No, that's awesome. But that's fantastic.
Well, I will say the YouTube thing, diving in and like, hey, I'm going to do this show and do that show. And then I started doing one on late Saturday nights. He's kind of like, wait, what do you do? Are you doing reselling? Or are you doing YouTube? What's going on here? And I'm having fun with it. That's what I say. Like, it's just fun.
It is, right? And it's like reselling, it's kind of hard not to get sucked into it.
Well, I mean, I know that the old timers, like when you're out at a thrift shop or a garage sale, and the people who've been doing this for 30, 40 years, I want to be like those guys. I want to learn from those guys. So if we could get them on here.
That's it.
Well, the crazy side to that, though, is like I've got the guy that I do estate sales from, like him, and he has a guy that's kind of like Tim, like kind of like, back in the glass and antiques and all that kind of stuff. He's in it. But the crazy thing is things have evolved, like things that used to sell for big money, like those guys say, now, not so much, now the things that they're trying to resell. It's like if you ever watched the guys that did the old sports cards, like 80s, 90s, like you try to sell them things now for what they're trying to sell them back then, it ain't going to happen. But there is some of those guys, like one of my thoughts when I was at the 127 with OSP, who's in the house, who just hit his monetization, by the way.
Right on.
Yeah, so he's in here, old school picker. But when I was up there with him, I said, man, really what I should have done while I was there to worry about picking is I should have went around and talked to all these people that have been, reselling this thing for 15, 20 years, because a lot of them have a wealth of experience, right?
Absolutely.
And they're not, putting it out here on YouTube. They're kind of keeping it to themselves. But, those are one of those things that I always think about too, is like, man, because in life, I like to sit and listen to older people talk anyway. Yeah. Like I like to talk to them about how things were back in the day and get some wisdom. I was like, I said, like my grandmother's 90 years old now. She's starting to fade a little bit as far as memories. But I was like, I always get her to show me things and talk to me about how things were back in the day. Because why? Because we learned from the past. Like we learned from what these people at 90, she has twice the experience I do, like in life. Insane.
Yeah.
I wish we would have realized that when we were young.
Nah. When you're young, old people are stupid, right?
Yeah.
Then you realize that you were the one that was stupid. Those things. But,
well, you wish there was like kind of like an apprenticeship program, for reselling, right? Somebody can kind of like impart some of this stuff to you. Right. I mean, dude, even just like standing next to Brian, Mr. Buys a Lot for, I don't know, 45 minutes. It was like drinking from a fire hydrant. the level of like knowledge, he's rattling off stories and
right.
And each story leads to a bolo, and and it's not like the $20-$30 bolo that you're gonna find at the Walmart clearance. This is some like, if you watch the video, he's talking about a sign that sold for $30,000 that he picked up for like $20. I'm like, what? And so it's to hear these guys, and even Pete talking about selling a $20,000 book where it's worthwhile for him to drive cross country and deliver it, and to just be close enough where you get osmosis, some of that knowledge through, man, it would be awesome.
But I think, like you said, you wish there was like a guru or something. Like, I think you have to embrace the learning curve. Like,
sure.
You're gonna have to make the mistakes and the bad buys, and it stinks. But that's just how you learn. I don't thrift the same way I did 2 years ago. I don't buy storage units the same way I did. Dang sure don't buy them the way I did.
Right.
It's just part of it. If you're just getting into it, don't expect to be like all knowing just because you watch some YouTube.
Well, I say brains are like parachutes. Yeah, they work the best when they're open. So
it is one of those things too. Like, maybe you've made this mistake. I know I sure did. Like you were talking about Amazon. For me, I looked at some stuff that people are putting out on YouTube and say this sells great on Amazon. And then you buy it, right? And what happens? Like it ain't selling no more. And if it is, it's super cheap. because
I didn't fall into that because I didn't find those things, but I probably would have. I was just scanning anything and everything in my, local Walmart, and I'm like, oh, they've got liquid smoke from Texas. Nobody else will be able to get that, and
yeah.
well, those leak. Those bottles leak really bad.
So your storage is smoked out.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's one of the things.
Everyone's getting barbecue sauce and liquid smoke for Christmas.
I got you.
Boo.
I got you.
Well,
My
the main. Oh, I'm sorry.
I said my address is in the link below.
All right.
Barbecue sauce. No, I'm just messing.
Oh, I have a lot.
But no, I think a lot of people do that. Like, I think a lot of people look at things, and you obviously want to look through the right eye, in the sense of not everything. Like, somebody may know. Like, here recently, we had everybody jump on sports cards, and you got guys that know about sports cards, and you got some people that don't know about sports cards, and you jump in there, and I guarantee you, there's people that have lost money. Right?
I jumped in there. I made my money and I got out.
Yeah, so that's smart, right? For me, I was a fool. I opened every bunch of packets, and I lost. I opened a bunch of packets up, and I didn't have a home run in there. And truthfully, I didn't feel like listing dollar cards, so I was like, I sold them off for a loss and got rid of them. That's what I did.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. So just we all can learn. And learn maybe from wins and losses, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of my losses have been fun.
Yeah.
Like, I go down to Roundtop, Texas, which is where a lot of dealers come. Like miles and miles and miles, several cities, lots of bougie dealers and buyers. But I started buying these galvanized. They call them olive buckets. And they're just galvanized buckets. They kind of look like a feed bucket. And they have slits cut out. Anyway, I was buying them for $15 and selling them for $70 on Amazon. So they only have this twice a year. I didn't know how to connect with the actual distributor. So I drove back down there and filled my car. And I got them for a lot cheaper because I bought so many. And I was like, this is awesome. And as soon as I'd send them in, they'd sell. Like, they were gone. But then they started coming back. And then I wasn't getting them back. And then, it started to be a lot of money. Like, wait a minute. I'm paying y'all now, and I still don't have my... Anyway, enough about Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon... But, I mean, I know people that make good money on Amazon. Like,
yeah.
We had East Coast Flipper on here. I mean, that kid is killing it, man. I mean, he's killing it on Amazon. And then, other people like Nate, I know he does well with it. There's other people that don't talk about it as much. Colton and Courtney, they do well with it. It's just, it's like everything else. It's learning, right? It's knowing how to do it.
I definitely do think, though, there is that, what Danica's talking about, Eric had his account deleted. I haven't had that great of an experience with Amazon. And you do hear about the not so successful stories that come out. And I think that's, I'm sure you learned a lot from that, as far as, how to even plunge into Amazon.
Yeah, for sure. I should have kept trucking in it. I just was scared, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's eBay's going okay. I know that I could probably level up faster with Amazon, but I'm just, I'm in DFW. There's a lot of Amazon sellers here. And when there's something on BrickSeek or whatever, it's never there, ever. I've hustled for it. I've hustled from town to town to town, and it's not fun. You know what I mean? If you're not having fun, then
good to know.
You're working.
Because I'm my wife and I are talking about she's moving. We're I like DFW area. Well, I have a buddy in Frisco.
Oh, y'all are such not Frisco people, but
I would go to Plano, but
I would say Austin or Fort Worth. Y'all seem to be more hip, more cool.
Yeah.
But, the Magnolia area, Fort Worth is. I see y'all fitting in there.
Yeah. I have some friends like in the Fort Worth area as well, New Yorkers.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's and you know, to kind of what you're talking about, you know, with learning from other people on the internet, like what you have access to is different from what I have access to. So our strategy just about our stores are different, you know.
Yes.
So, but I'm curious, you know, how much you've learned just from hanging with the local folks from starting a YouTube, and vice versa. You know, how some of the local folks have benefited from being around you.
Well, I don't know that they've benefited from me. I would like to. I don't really understand your question, but like my YouTube channel, I just started it because everybody kept asking me to come on their show.
Yeah. There you
And I'm already doing all this junk, so I just filming it. I'm not trying to like create something that's not. I don't feel like I have education to offer yet. That's what I'm getting at. Like, yes, I follow all of these people and I do what they say and I learn and then I X that but I'm not. I'm still a baby reseller. You know, like I've been fortunate to be able to throw everything into it and keep throwing it in. I'm not using the money to raise my family. You know.
Right.
So I don't want to. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. The local people, I'm friends. We're friends. Like they can call me and be like, "Hey, do you have a connection for this?" And you know, we share connections. We share like if you get like this one. They just started a YouTube channel, The Beauty and the Brawn. They buy huge. I guess they're gaylords full of clothes from a man who does cleanouts. So he'll do cleanouts and just throw clothes in these bins, and then he'll call me. He's like, "Hey, I've got 5 bins." They'll deliver them to their warehouse, and it's so much clothes. It's like more clothes than you could ever imagine. So I went over there one day and helped them just kind of sort like trash, thread up, you know, wherever they're putting it. And I'm like, I really want these vintage pieces, like this jacket and, you know, just things like that, helping each other. I saw them at Goodwill and they're unloading a trailer full of books. And I'm like up in the trailer, throwing the books in. Like, it's just helping each other in little ways. If it's even just a call, like, "Hey, how are you?"
I mean, that's huge.
My regular friends don't understand it. You know, like they're like, "What? You sell used things?"
Well, I guess that's part of the connection. I wasn't really asking a question as much as like pointing out, like, you know, the opportunities that arise, especially it's like, you know, being new and you're kind of like, you know, there's what you know and what you don't know, and then you don't really know what you don't know too. And there are these little aha moments that have kind of come up along the way. So to have, you know, even just folks who are maybe new, like Eric and I talk all the time, and we stumble upon, we make these happy mistakes, we share our lessons with each other, or, you know, he'll gamble on something and I don't have to like go drop, you know, X amount of money on a bunch of old VHSs, but now I know I can look out for Dallas VHS tapes. DVD, excuse me, DVDs, yeah. and I'll do all right, you know. So
definitely.
So it's that. I mean, sharing connections, you know, and helping each other build those relationships. That's huge.
Yeah. I met this one guy at the storage auctions when they were live around here that everybody kind of shunned away from, but he was always smiling and happy and do-do-do. And I just was like, "Hi, I'm Danica." And he was like, "You need to come sell at the flea market." Well, I've been looking for a flea market around me for months and months and months. It's just, you know, sorry, there's some weird tape up here.
Oh, you're good.
You're right.
And now he'll call me and be like, "Hey, do you need to unload any junk? I haven't got a unit." Like that's all he does is flea markets. He'll buy units and fill up an 18-wheeler and go and park it out there, and he sells it out. Like everything is like $5, $3, $1 top, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I'm like, that seems fun to me, so I'll try it, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just rambling, you guys.
You're good. You're good, Danica.
I get exactly what you're saying, because you know, for us, we all have like Sam was saying, we're all in a different spot. You know, we're in different parts of the country. Like what you do maybe entirely different. Like I've looked at the storage auction stuff and going and doing clean outs and that kind of stuff. But honestly, now, as a result of just looking for that stuff, I've found some people who that's what they do. And I can cherry pick from them. Like, hey, if you have this, this, or this,
Heck yeah.
I'm interested in that. And then I don't have to do all the work. But I've also watched guys, you know, there's people that have been in the chat like yourself. Obviously, you're doing some of that storage unit stuff. You know, What the Hales was in here earlier. Obviously, I've watched those guys. I've watched Nate and Anthony experiment with the storage locker stuff, you know, and kind of get into it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know, for me, my wife said, hey, you know, I can only bring in so much more stuff. That's why I have a shed now. So I'm having to make sure that I'm not bringing that stuff in. But honestly, I'm sitting there thinking, like, how much time would it take me to clean that out? And is that where I should do that? Like, when I first got into reselling, I watched some of those storage units. I was like, I want to do that. You know, that's what I want to do. But then I'm like, then I've listened to people say, hey, you need to find somebody who can clean out. Like, take this junk that you don't want, right? Like, you need to find somebody to do that. And then you can streamline a little bit more. So for me, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, down the road, try something different because I've seen other people have success or other people maybe have failure that I say, hey, I saw their mistake. Maybe I can do something a little different. So when the day comes, I might reach out to you and say, Danica, what do you think about this storage stuff? Like,
I don't know. I don't know if you ever watched my channel, but I've never really struck it gold on a unit.
Yeah.
I'm like 33 in, and it's just fun. It's fun to me. It is a lot of work. You get a lot of garbage, and if you have connections to clean it out for you, or even just, you know, you pick through and take the best and say, hey, I want to buy it for $50, or, you know, I got to meet What the Hales, not What the Hales, only one of What the Hales, Jeremy.
Oh, really?
He came to Texas doing something with another channel, and I've told this story several times. Sorry if you've heard it, but it was cool to me because it was at a time where I was like, my husband was like, I don't like these storage units anymore. I don't like them. I'm not going to help. Not being mean, but like, just so you know, you're on your own. Like, because he works the full time anyway.
Right.
So I'm doing my little local circuit, just right around the area, and something that day was like, you need to keep going, because it was like, I think 20 on the run, and I only did like 4. And I went back to the shop and kept ignoring it, you know, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go try this one. It's not too far away. And he was there, and I heard him behind me and was like, what the hell? You know, and he ended up, well, I'm a Texas girl that we hug. So I ran up and hugged him like I knew him or something. It was really embarrassing. And at the end of the auction, he was like, can you sell this junk in your shop? And I was like, yeah. And he gave it to me. So,
that's awesome.
You know, blessings along the way that, you know, some people don't see them as blessings, but I do.
There you go.
It's definitely one of those things. And that's cool too, because I know he does that. What did that resell the love or whatever?
The love, yeah.
The love. So
and you know, there were probably people that needed it more than me. And when I thought about that, I'm like, oh, I'm not really in need of it or anything, but I don't know. I started feeling a little guilty for a minute about it, but then I was like, nah, it's cool. It's like, and it wasn't like, honestly, it wasn't a unit that was like, oh my gosh, I made all this money off this free unit. But it was a lesson. It was a lesson in so much stuff. Like,
well, I think it's one of those things. I know, like, because myself and Sam, I mean, we've talked with Jeremy on here, and then obviously we had him on our show, so we talked to him some behind the scenes as well. And you know, Jeremy is a guy that I'm looking at. I said, Jeremy does, you know, a lot of us that are on here right now, like, we don't make a ton of money off YouTube. He's a guy who does make, you know, pretty good money off YouTube, because he's got almost, I guess he's pushing up on 300K, like, subscribers and people that watch his channel. But I was like, man, I said, to see a guy like that who is kind of further along down the road than what we are, and he's still looking out for people. You know, he's still reaching back down and helping people out. So for me, that's an inspiration as well. I'm not huge, but I want to try to help all the people I can. I mean, obviously you have limitations in how much you can, but helping people with information and helping people with, hey, I'll be a sounding board if you need to talk to me about something. I'll be somebody that can. I've always been good at playing both sides and saying, okay, so yeah, what about this in that situation? Like, what if you did this, or what about just that kind of thing. But I hope when and if I ever have that kind of success, either reselling or YouTube or both, that I don't ever want to forget where I came from, and make sure that we're giving back. That's why we do reach out. Even with this thing that we're doing now, I said we want to reach out and try to help you guys along the way, and people, guests that we have on. That's why we try to make it more about you than us while we're here.
I want to know about more about y'all.
Yeah, have us on.
No, I'm really amazed that I've never heard a baby cry. I've never heard that sweet boy cry.
That's because he's not here right now. He is he's at Uncle Ricky's house. If you guys don't know who Uncle Ricky is, he's a very kind man who gives me a lot of his cool stuff to resell.
Nice.
He's moving right now, so our uncle and aunt's moving, so my wife's over there hanging out, having some family time. Tomorrow I am helping Uncle Ricky drive all the way to Arizona over the next 2 days. So as a little thank you to him for his support of my reselling journey, So I've been fortunate, like you're talking about, like family doesn't really get it a lot of the time. And he doesn't really get it, but he doesn't really care. He's just got to get rid of stuff, and he knows who he can pawn it off to. So, but yeah, so it's nice. So if anybody's in Arizona, you'll let me know. But anyways, Ezra for the most part is pretty good. He's been cooing a lot lately.
He's so darn cute.
Thank you.
He's got that sly little grin.
I know. We're in trouble. As soon as he gets old enough, I mean, goodness.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. So, I know we can't be on here forever, even though I would totally hang out with you guys and talk reselling forever and ever. Tips that I have for now that may change in a year is always be listing and always be sourcing. And don't be afraid of a death pile. Everyone's afraid of the death pile. I have a whole 2,000 square foot of death pile. Don't be afraid of it, because it's profit. At some point, it's going to be profit. And maybe that's bad advice. Maybe there's people that wouldn't accept that or take that as good advice. But like, I go into a thrift shop every single day because they have new stock every single day, right? And I have a box of Christmas ornaments over here that are worth $10, but this birdhouse that I just bought at the thrift shop is worth $1,000. So I'm going to list that, and then I'm going to keep looking for more birdhouses, right?
Well, and if nothing else, right, over the course of the time that you go to the thrift store, you start to learn their pattern of when they start put stuff out, and then now you're a familiar face. Maybe you connect with management now.
I haven't had that happen yet, but
I'm trying to like weasel my way into that. Like, hey, it's just say hi to everybody.
I bring donuts. I've got, like gift cards.
So I've tried to like befriend this one dude, and I'm pretty sure he's like, he's got some sort of developmental delay or like educational handicap, because I don't think he can remember stuff long term, because he always reintroduces himself to me. Aww. So it's like what's his like. Or 3 second or 10-second Tom or whatever from 50 First Dates. Hi, I'm Tom.
That's how I feel when I come in the chats.
I feel like a seagull from Nemo.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. Like me and Sam joke about that off camera quite a bit about how it's like it's so crazy, because a lot of times. And guys, if you're here in the chat, we appreciate you being here. We try not to take the time to go through every time anybody new pops in and say, hey, thanks for being here. But we do thank you for being here if you're here. And if you're not here, then obviously you're not hearing this. But like for us, we always joke about it. It's like, man, in life, you're having conversation with people, and people walk by, like you wouldn't stop. Like I always have the thought of my pastor in the middle of a message, right? Like, and somebody walks in and they stop everything. Hey, and everybody said, hey. Like, it seems weird, but I guess it's YouTube etiquette, right? But yeah, so I am one of those things. It is tough to get to everybody. We try to do a good part of that, but
well, I'll put on the show and say hi, and then I'm off to work around the room. And
honestly, Sam looks out for me on this as well, and us as a show. He's always responding to people in the chat because I can't do two things at once. Like, I got to focus on what's going on here.
Sometimes I'll be in y'all's chat, and I'm like, dang, he's fast. Like, how did he say hi to me before I even like?
Yeah. Yeah, Sam's got some kind of mind meld thing going on with YouTube. Like,
I'm telling you, man.
StreamYard. He's got StreamYard like in his glasses or something.
I did a great. The years that I have paid into college tuition has really paid off. Is what you're seeing here.
Yeah. I'm over here fingering it, right? Like trying
listen, when you got an Asian mom that has like a right hand that can like rival any MLB pitcher, and she's deadly with a slipper, and if she doesn't think you're listening to her, she will make sure she gets your attention. So
I should have been a bit more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, listen, I'll listen a lot harder even if I'm in the middle of a video game. Like, I got you, mom. Don't hit me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it is one of those things. These guys are joking me about the "if you're here, you're not here" kind of thing. Like, sometimes I think I'm like that. Yeah, it is. But we definitely appreciate Danica. We appreciate you being a part of the community.
Definitely.
I appreciate y'all. It's nice to have you as coworkers for sure.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, and that's how we like to think of it as well, because just like you guys said earlier, it's hard to go through this thing I know sometimes I'll buy something and be like jacked, and then I come in my house and like my kids or my wife will be like, "What's the big deal?"
Yeah.
And then I'll call Sam and he'll get excited for me. So
and trust me, like
I just had a sale. Oh yeah, you sale.
Yeah, and I'll tell Christina, she's like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Eric, he bought this big purchase." He's like, "Oh, okay, see ya." Bye.
Yeah, we're just saying.
He says it well. Like, I don't want to hear about Microsoft and IBM, and like, I don't know anything about that stuff.
But what's important, especially as like partners, you don't yuck each other's yum. That's what I like to say.
I'm gonna write that down. I like that. You don't yuck each other's yum.
That's right.
You're always full of good stuff.
Is that a yum yum sauce reference?
No. somebody said that to me once. It's like, don't yuck my yum. I'm like, oh, stolen.
Yeah. Copywriting that one.
But yeah, and and thank you to everybody who has been on tonight with us. Larry, Erin, Shawn, as well as Danica. We appreciate you guys. And
I can't believe I had to follow Larry. God.
Why?
Because I love him, and I was just like, oh, I wish I could talk to him on here.
Oh, well, he's got his morning coffee show, and you got your channel, so.
Yeah, he drops the link all the time. You can
That's
pop
right.
that
That's right.
if you're doing that. But so, Danica, you got anything coming up, like on your channel or anything that we can send people your way?
Well, every Wednesday I drop a video of whatever I've done the week. Like sometimes, like this last week was boring. I don't recommend you watch it unless you just want to play it. Tuesday mornings I do coffee with Noelle, Farm Girl Scavenger. We flip-flop channels. It's just an hour. Just pop in. Last week she had technical issues for half of the show. I don't expect everybody to follow me around or anything, but Saturday nights, I don't know if you've heard of this crazy thing I've been doing. Copper State Treasures. She, I think, is in Arizona.
Oh, that's right. She is. Yeah.
She messaged me and was like, "Hey, we were on a show together, and I felt like we were really in sync. You want to do a comedy show with me?" And I was like, Yeah, like that's totally at my, because I'm always at home doing goofy stuff and putting on wigs and acting goofy, and my family's like sick of it. You know, like I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So we do that Saturday night, 10 p.m. Central Standard. I don't know what the other times are, but
Whose channel's that on?
huh?
Whose channel's that on?
That's
Copper
on Copper State Treasures.
Yeah.
And it's it's totally just for fun. It's not meant to like poke fun at anybody or anything. Like it's, you know, kind of like SNL, but we suck.
SNL hasn't been that great in recent years, so I'm sure it's better.
I wouldn't say we suck, but we're just having fun. We're not like trying to like, you know.
Hey, you know what? Especially with all the great news that's on TV nowadays, everybody can use a laugh. So definitely check out Lisa and Danica Saturday nights on
There's
Copper
someone in the
State.
chat that you might see this Saturday on the show, but we like to have
Oh.
secret.
Hint dropped. Snap. So be there. What time? Say the time again, Danica.
It's after your bedtime. It's 10
So
p.m.
It's 10 p.m.
After YouTube, after hours.
Hey. Yeah, I'll be watching that replay because that's way past my bedtime.
Yeah. It's past my bedtime, but she's 2 hours. I think she's 2 hours ahead of me. Like,
Yeah, I think we have a pretty serious nap right here. I wonder.
Don't.
Yeah, if any of y'all like to do like goofy stuff and put on wigs and want to break free like for evening, we're looking for guests too.
Okay.
But that's it. That's all we got.
You need to hit up Larry.
No, I thought of that earlier when he was like, "You need to go watch what I did," and I remembered he had on a cheerleading uniform. I'm like,
Oh, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Larry.
Dude, that's crazy. That is crazy.
I'm gonna drop Copper State's link in here real quick for
Yeah, I
you.
know that she would have been here, but she's doing a show with Victoria right now.
Oh, that's right.
If y'all want to go introduce yourselves, they're doing a show where you can just come in and introduce your channel, like your elevator speech, and pop in.
Yeah. I've already I've talked to Lisa a bunch in the past. I just stopped.
Oh, you don't like her anymore?
No, I had a baby, and YouTube has taken a back burner.
There you go.
You know, well, back when my boys were little, I had a YouTube channel and I sold on Etsy, and I don't know how you do it because I wasn't able to. Like, it was too much. Like,
It definitely ain't easy. I'm gonna tell you that.
you are dealing with the most thing right now, and sometimes I'm like, does Sam have a new video? I'm like, oh no, he's busy with that baby.
I know. Well, and then I gotta travel this weekend, so I'm gonna bring my computer and see if I can edit the video on the plane and in the airport and stuff. And Erin said it. I took a bunch of pictures of all my stuff beforehand, so I can list while I'm at the hotel and at the gas station or whatever, just to pass the time.
Eric's gonna go hit the thrift tomorrow. He'll be listing from his hotel room.
That's right. So, but I'll see you ladies tomorrow night. I'll be on the road. I'll be watching.
Right on.
There you go. You're headed out to Copper State.
That's right. So,
well, guys, we do appreciate everybody for being on. Danica, obviously, we appreciate you for.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, thank y'all. I'm gonna pop out so y'all can do your hello, goodbye. Bye.
All right, bye. So, obviously, we want to thank Larry and Erin and Shawn and Danica and all them for coming and being a part of this. And like I mentioned before, if you want to be a part of this next month, last Friday of the month, please reach out to us sometime between now and then, preferably sooner rather than later. And we'd love to have you on and be a part. If you're here in the chat, then obviously we know who you are, and we would appreciate you coming on if you want to be a part of this next month. And Sam, so what do you got going on other than traveling to Arizona, possibly dropping a video?
Man, same old. Just I'll maybe I'll run a live stream while I'm out there. But I did a 5-hour live stream yesterday listing stuff. That was a blast. It was awesome. So I'll probably do something like that a little bit more. It was cool having people hopping in and out. So if you guys are working in the afternoon, keep an eye out for those. I'd love to have some company while I list. trying to like figure out how to get music going in the background because it's like kind of boring. Especially there's been a couple of times where I like sitting by myself, so I'm gonna try and make that happen. So it's a enjoyable experience. I like working with music on, anyways. But yeah, man. It's not nothing too crazy. Just grinding. But
yeah. I know. Obviously, I'm out of town this week, but I am dropping a video in the morning. About my email that hopefully some of you guys got as well. If you're on managed payments, and also eBay is updating their free listings, so you want to have a listing fee on it depending on what store level you're at. But I know for myself that is 10,000 listings up from 1,000. That I can list for free. So that's going to be a part of that video. I kind of go through the details of all that. And if you haven't seen it, look out for the email. But if you don't want to feel like watching the email, you can come and watch me tomorrow. I'll drop it in the morning and it'll be on my next video. We do thank all you guys for being here. Didn't get around to greeting you. I'm sure you got greeted in the chat. And we will catch you guys next Friday night. We'll be announcing our guests during the week this week. Mm-hmm. So we thank you guys. I went to 100,000. Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Free listings are always great. So thank you, eBay.
All right.
So, all right. Thanks, guys. We will catch you.
Thank you, everybody.